Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. Today, I am doing a video response for my good friend Mike, baseball collector. He's doing a little contest in celebration of some pretty big milestones on his channel. 6,000 subscribers, 1 million views of his videos, and about 1,000 videos uploaded to his channel. Mike, congratulations on such big accomplishments for your channel. And what he wants us to do for his contest is a video response, basically describing our hobby pet peeves. Now, generally speaking, I tend to be pretty positive when it comes to the hobby. I really enjoy the hobby, but there are some things that sort of annoy me, just like everything else. There are some things, even though you really like something, there are a few things that just pick at you. And so I came up with a little bit of a list here, so let's get right to it. My first pet peeve are eBay sellers. Now, I may be a little naive here, but to me, if you're going to put a card up for sale on eBay, the goal is to sell it. Now, you can list a card for whatever you want. I could put a 1988 Donruss Wade Boggs card on eBay and ask for $100,000 for it. Not going to sell, but I have the freedom to list a card however I want for how much I want. But it's the listings that I keep seeing over and over and over again, and they're typically buy it nows with no best offer. So I'll see a card, whether it's a Wade Boggs card or a vintage baseball card, and the seller has it way above comps. Now, he may be thinking, hey, you know what? That's how much I have on the card, and I would like to either make my money back or a little bit of a profit or whatever. And hey, if it never sells, it never sells. Sort of like, I guess, at a card show, you know, dealers have cards out there and they have their prices, and if they don't sell, they go to the next show and list them for sale, and hopefully someday someone will come around and pay what they're asking for. But setting up at a show, to me, is a little bit different than actively putting something on eBay, although it may not be that much of a difference. But I'll see a card, again, listed well above comps, buy it now, no best offer. This is like take it or leave it price. And guess what? The week, 10 days goes by, or 30 days if it's buy it now, doesn't sell. Seller lists it again, same price. I've seen the same card listing month after month after month after month at the same price. And at some point, logic tells me, okay, no one's buying at this price. If I want to sell the card, I have to make an adjustment. And there are just some eBay sellers out there that just either don't want to face reality or just don't want to take a potential loss. But again, you have a piece of cardboard and someone's offering money, and you can take that money and maybe make a better investment if you're looking at flipping and whatever. I don't know, it just annoys me to see the same card show up time and time again from the same seller at the same price because they don't sell at that price. All right, the next one. Modern box prices. You know, I've been around the hobby I've been collecting for like 45 years. Okay, so it's not really fair for me to go back and say, geez, I remember when I used to be able to buy a pack of cards for 20 cents. All right, okay. But, you know, the newer stuff, I used to, maybe around 2012 to 2017, 2018 maybe, I used to buy a jumbo box of Topps Series 1, 2, and Update. One, not that I really was into modern cards, but I could typically put a set together with a jumbo box. And yeah, I'd get maybe some pretty cool inserts. It wasn't really about getting particular inserts. I just did it because I love opening packs. I've always loved, since I started collecting, just for the fun of it, opening packs. Not expecting really to hit a particular card or insert or this or whatever. I just enjoy it. I can't, well, I don't want to say I can't do it, but it's becoming really expensive too. I forget what I was looking, I think at Walmart a couple weeks ago. I was looking at, they had some Donruss Diamond Kings, and they had a fat pack and a blaster box. I think that's what they had. And for the blaster box, I want to say it was like 28, at least 28 bucks. And I'm like, well, no, just to have some fun opening. I forget how many packs you got in there, but it wasn't a lot. So I said, well, maybe the fat pack. And I think it had 20 cards in it. And I couldn't find the price, so I, scanned it and stuff. And it was like 12 bucks or 16 bucks. I'm like, for 20, I'm like, no, I left it. The days of me, I'll spend the $5, maybe $8 for a fat pack, maybe 12, 15 for a blaster box, or 12 bucks for a hanger. But it's that's not too bad. But it's just getting to the point, again, do I have the money to buy that? Yes. But I'm thinking for those that are newer in the hobby, just getting in, even if their parents are getting them, I mean, that's a pretty big expense for such few number of cards. And then don't get me started on these high-end sets where you're spending $500, $600, $1,000 a box for like 4 cards. Now, I know they're all high-end. They're all autographed, game used, patch, shiny, all this stuff, serial numbered, every card serial numbered, whatever, which is another pet peeve I'm going to be getting to. But it just seems that everything is just so high-end now. I should have looked it up before I did this video, but I think even now, the standard flagship Topps wax box, forget about the jumbo box. I don't know what they're going for, but I'm almost positive they are a lot more than even a few years ago, say prior to the pandemic. And I don't know if they are guaranteeing another hit in the box or what, but just some of these box prices are just, I see people talking about them on videos or breaks or whatever. And hey, I opened up a $1,500 box of Panini something. What did I get? $1,500 for a box. I mean, to me, that's some pretty high-end gambling. But anyway, that's just another pet peeve of mine, just where prices are for unopened boxes, where someone like myself, unless I go to maybe my local card shop and buy a pack, but again, based on the price of the wax box, even the individual packs, I mean, my gosh, today you're lucky to get maybe 8 cards, and again, $8, $10 for some of these packs. And anyway, that's a big pet peeve of mine, the current modern box prices. Third on my list, PSA grading fees. Now, I am not someone who has, and sorry, John Mangini, raw cards, ungraded cards in my collection. I'm looking to get graded, although there are some, but I've held off because PSA's grading fees have just been crazy. Now, I know they're starting to come down, and I know some of it was because they had to sort of put the brakes on their capacity to grade, and I understand that. But even prior to that, and even now, I think even with some of the specials, or you have to send in at least 20 or 25 cards at $20 each, I have some cards, vintage cards, that either I can buy ungraded because I can't find graded copies that I want, or I have some in my collection that I think maybe I'd like to have them grade, regardless of what the grade may come back, just to have them slabbed. But still, at $20, and again, for collectors like myself that are dealing with the registry, there are a couple of 1978 cards that I just can't find graded, or when they do, the population's so low that the sellers ask just way too much for me to spend on that card just to say I have a PSA copy. So I thought about, okay, I'll get an ungraded card that hopefully is in a decent grade, send that in, but still at $20, that it should have something that for those registry players that are sending in essentially common cards, that even if you do get a really high grade, they're still not worth a whole lot. Something around that $8 level again. Then I would seriously consider sending in cards to get graded by PSA. The other thing, and I think Mike may have mentioned this in his video, is the upcharge that you get if you submit a card, or different tier levels. Oh, well, it costs $8 if your card is valued at $199 or less, but if the card is valued more, well, now the grading fee is up. I never quite understood that. I think that was Mike's point. Process to grade a card is the same. I don't care what the card is, what player is on the card, how rare the card is. The same process it is to grade every single card. There should be a flat fee, and I think maybe some of the other ones, maybe SCG has a flat fee. Now I can see charging more for shipping insurance if your card grades a certain, gets a certain grade and becomes a certain value point. Okay, well, to ensure this amount of value back to the collector, hey, for this amount of insurance now, instead of paying a flat X, it's going to be X plus something. Okay, that's fine, because, hey, I want those cards safely back to me. But the grading fee itself, why should it matter if they're grading a 1978 common card versus a 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle? It's the same process. They look at the same corners, same edges, same surface, same centering. I don't get it. So hopefully PSA will get their act together and will allow me potentially to submit cards to get graded. All right, the next one, and I need to be careful here in who I'm referencing, but it's the hobby influencers. Now, the term influencer can mean a lot of different things. I think at some small level, I'm an influencer in terms of the cards I talk about, and because I get some comments, oh, wow, that's a great card. Man, maybe I want to look for that card in my collection and things like that. Some of the topics I talk about, just bringing whatever little knowledge I have, being so long in the hobby, to everyone else. I think at some level that's could be considered being an influencer. So there are a lot of collectors, hobbyists out there, even some that would be considered flippers or maybe even investors, but more like flippers and collectors. They do have a lot of positive influence on the hobby. It's those influencers that seem to peddle certain cards, seem to highlight, here are the top 5 basketball cards to buy right now. Here are, who's the best buy going into the football season? Which rookies should you be investing in? And to me, I've always been a hobby purist. And again, that doesn't mean just a collector. All right. And you can, I can still understand people say, I want to invest some of these cards or flip some of these cards. Okay, that's fine. Again, it's some of these things are needed in the hobby, and there's room for everyone. It's those out there that have popped up over the last 2 or 3 years that have some knowledge of some things. Maybe they're more in tune with the modern sports and the modern cards, but don't know a lot about vintage. If you don't know a lot about vintage, don't talk about it. I don't talk about football, basketball, hockey cards on my channel because I don't really follow the sport. I don't collect those cards. So you don't hear me talking about anything about those sports. You also don't hear me talk a whole lot about modern cards because I don't collect a lot of modern cards. I'm into Wade Boggs and vintage baseball cards. So that is what I talk about on my channel because that's what I know, or at least know more than some of those other things. So stay within your lane for those investors out there. If you don't know, say, the vintage market, don't pretend that you know what you're talking about. It's okay. You don't have to be everything to everyone. If your niche is modern and you have ideas out there of, hey, this is what you should buy, I don't know. Still, the peddling of market picks or investment picks, it may not be the case. I just get the sense that there's something else behind it. I don't want to necessarily say pump and dump, but when your channel focuses a lot on investing, what to invest in, am I buying, am I holding, am I selling? You hear the what cards, am I buying, am I selling? It's because they own those cards, you would think. And so if they're saying, hey, I'm big into X, I think so-and-so is undervalued. To me, there's just something personal that someone's trying to personally gain from the advice that they're giving everyone else. Like, hey, buy these cards because I bought in. And to me, that's just not honest. But I've said enough about that. All right, moving on. The next pet peeve is today's focus on only the big hits. I don't watch a lot of breaker videos or box opening videos. Just not what I do, but I occasionally, I like to watch occasionally a variety of content out there just to see what's going on. And so many videos have the person, they'll open the pack, and again, unless it's one of those ones that has 2 cards in the pack or 4 cards, but assuming it's one that has maybe 15, 20 cards or whatever, and all you see is this: flip, 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 flip. Oh, no color, toss it. Flip, flip. They don't even sometimes look at the player on the card. It's nope, common. Okay, where's my hit? Nope, no autograph in that pack. All right, okay, where's the game used card in that? Nope, okay, not. And they it's like those other cards in the pack are completely worthless to them, mean nothing. They open up an entire box looking for their 2 hits, and that's it. Everything else is like trash. And I think there are even some breakers that, now they state in there, which is fine, they tell you the rules, but hey, if you win, if you get your player or team or whatever, you're only going to get the hits. You're not, I'm not sending you the base cards or whatever. Now some of them do, and I'm not saying that's a critique of it, but it's just that these non-hits, just to some of these people, they mean nothing to them, and that just annoys me. I mean, they're baseball cards. They may not be worth a whole lot, but there's stuff that you can do them, sell them, put together a team lot and put it up on eBay or something like that. There are people out there that are interested in putting together the team set for their favorite team for that year of base cards. They're not worthless. All right. So that's another little pet peeve of mine. The next one is also on that those breaker channels. If I hear the phrase "let's go" one more time, I think I'll take a hammer to my head. Just again, that focus on the big hits. They'll open a pack and then they'll slowly reveal it. Oh, I got a red. Oh, it is, and it's and they go, let's go. go. No, sorry. That just, I turned the video off. I can't stand it. It's just a pet peeve of mine. I'm sorry. I know you could be excited about getting a hit in a pack. Okay, great. I understand that. You hit a 1-of-1 of something or this or your favorite player or whatever. It just seems to be everyone's doing that now. I mean, I think maybe one person did it or whatever, and it just caught on, and now it's this viral thing of let's go. Hate it, which it goes away. So that's another pet peeve. Just a couple more. Actually, this is the last one here. Manufactured scarcity in modern cards. Again, I've been around for a while where I remember the first 1-of-1s coming out, or even, a serial numbered out of 50 was wow, because of the production of the overall production of the cards in the set. Getting something serial numbered out of 50 was a big deal. Now, again, you get boxes where every card is guaranteed serial numbered of 25 or less. And it's now rare because there's only 25 of them out there, or these 1-of-1s. Okay, specifically the 1-of-1s. In my master checklist for Wade Boggs, there are roughly 2,500 different 1-of-1s that have been made of Wade Boggs. And he's not obviously in every single set. He's not a must-have inclusion in every modern set, although he's in a decent number. But 2,500 different Wade Boggs 1-of-1s are out there. I looked up Mike Trout. To the best that I went on Beckett, I couldn't quite get an exact number, but from what I can tell, there's probably around 5,200 different 1-of-1s. So yes, for a particular card, a 1-of-1, yeah, that is the only one. But really, I mean, are 1-of-1s really that special anymore? Where a lot of these boxes, you almost guaranteed a 1-of-1 of someone. And that's not even looking at, serial numbered at a 25 or 50 for some of these players. That it, over time, yeah, for a particular card, there's only, say, 25 or 10 or 5 or 1. But in the grand scheme of things, I could go out and buy a Mike Trout 1-of-1 and say, oh yeah, I have a Mike Trout 1-of-1. So does 5,000 other people can have a Mike Trout 1-of-1. I don't see a big deal of it anymore. I think it's just grown out of proportion. This scarcity out there, the true scarcity to me are vintage cards. There are only so many that survive. Now, again, there's some that are still hidden in people's houses and collections that you don't know, and then suddenly they surface. But there's only a finite number that have remained out there, and only a finite number at a particular time that may be graded. Or again, you go into pre-war stuff, you're truly talking rare and scarce. Not this, it's rare because the card manufacturer stamped on a little 1-of-1 and it has a unique color to it. To me, that's losing its luster. And again, going back to Wade Boggs cards, I'll see a Wade Boggs 1-of-1 listed. And honestly, some of these sellers, I don't know if they think they've hit the jackpot, but I'll see a 1-of-1 and they want $999.99, buy it now or best offer. I'm like, dude, you're not getting $1,000 for a 1-of-1 Boggs card. Now, again, they may just throw that out there, and if someone offers them $150, they'll accept it. But for me, a 1-of-1, unless it is some super patch, really one that I think is awesome looking, I'm probably not paying over $100 for it, because there's 2,000 other ones out there. Now, they're not all out there. I know some of my buddies that have a few hundred of them, but you know what I'm saying. there's always another one out there. And there's still some people, I see it pop up every once in a while. Wade Boggs one of one. I think it's a 20. Someone's selling a 2004. 2004. Oh shoot. Anyway, it's like a game used button card. $4.99.99. Buy it now. No best offer, and it'll pop up every few months and stuff. I'm like, kidding me? The only way I'm spending like $500 or even $1,000 on a Boggs card would be the 1996 Select Certified Mirror Gold, which is out of 30 produced. I don't even think they're serial numbered. And, you know, $500 for one of those is a steal because it's only 30 made. Back then, finding one is like a needle in a haystack, as opposed to today where you can get a one of one almost in every other pack. A little exaggeration. But anyway, those are my 7 hobby pet peeves. I'm sure if given enough time, I could find some more. But again, generally, I like to stay positive in the hobby. Hope you do as well. Mike, thanks for doing this contest. It was fun trying to think of some of the things that are just a little annoying, but it's all in good fun. That's all I have for you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.